My name is Faring Namdar. I'm the lead game designer of Dragon Commander, and I'm going to be presenting it to you with my lovely assistant Octave Viermans, lead QA today. He's going to be showing the multiplayer part. So I'm going to give you a short background about the story of the game. This game takes place many years before the other Divinity games, and it actually takes place at the technological and magical height of Rivellon, so you'll be seeing a lot of crossovers between technology and magic. And the player is actually a young prince who's a dragon knight. The dragon knight is a warrior that can shapeshift into a dragon at any point. And the empire to which your country belongs to has been forcefully subjected to a new religion, the new god religion. And your father actually, he rebelled against this religion. He refused it, but he was brutally murdered in the process. So it's the player's goal to actually avenge his father and liberate the countries in Rivellon, and you'll be doing this by applying brute force, taking over the countries one by one, yes, liberating countries with brute force, yes. And yeah, you'll be making political alliances and pulling some strings to get things done your way. So we're going to start up the game now. And yeah, the first thing you'll be seeing here is actually the Raven. This is the player's mothership. You'll be talking to all the various characters you see on the walls here, there. And the first thing we're going to do is talk to the Elf Counselor to see what he has to say. And the Elf Counselor actually has an interesting situation. So we're heavily outnumbered by the Empire concerning forces. So there have been suggestions to actually draft prisoners into the army so that we can get more units. Problem is, the Elf Counselor is not really happy with it because he's pointing out that, well, our troops will consist of thieves, rapists and murderers if we do so. But I need the extra units, so I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, draft the prisoners in the army, it's fine. And again, his reaction emphasizes that it's not going to look pretty once we conquer new territories. However, having answered him, I actually get a card. These cards are favors that you can call onto on the tactical map, and in this case I can actually summon an additional army at any point. But before we go over to the tactical map, I'm going to go to the bedroom so I can show you the Elven Princess Lohanna. So this is the Elven Princess Lohanna. She's also the reason why I have such a good relationship with the elves. She's a very kind and caring person, and she's actually worried about our wounded troops. Now what she's asking me is if I will allow the one god priest to actually heal these units on the battlefield. Problem is, these priests also have a very strange toll. They demand the children of the land. They take these children up to the Isle of Eternity and actually brainwash them and put them in their cult. So in exchange for healing my units, the people that murdered my father also want children. So we're going to go ahead and say, absolutely not, we're not going to do this. She's again very understanding, and it's quite sad, but having answered her, we get a card. It's the Wrath of the Seven Gods card. The Seven Gods religion is the religion we're following and also the elves are following. And this particular card increases the damage output of my units by 40% during the battle they're played. So I'm going to go over to the war room and access the tactical map so I can show you how the campaign unfolds and how you can actually use the cards. So if I zoom out here, you can see that this is already the 5th turn, so we own a couple of countries. These blue bordered countries are ours. The red bordered countries are the countries of the enemy, and the green countries are where elves live. The red countries is where dwarf lives. The yellow ones where the imps are. The top ones, the gray ones, are the lizards, and we have the undead with the pink, purplish countries. So what we're going to do is we're going to attack Grimland with the units from Crownsford. And we're also going to use a card, an Imposter card. It's a special type of card that gives the dragon an ammo type that is really good, does a lot of damage, and it's really useful. So we're going to end the turn now. And as you can see, there's the Empire is building units in some countries, moving them closer. Also, the highest concentration of deadly enemy units of the Empire are in the north, in the undead countries. That's also where the capital of this one god religion is. So we're going to access Grimland. I'm going to continue to the fight. And I'll show you in a second how the RTS and dragon controls work. So first I'm going to go over to the 3D RTS view where I'll select my units and move them forward. I'll just switch over to the top view so you get a better idea of what the situation is. So we've got an enemy base here. I'm going to assault that base with my artillery and fighter units. So I'm going to go ahead and make them attack it. And I'm going to select a small group to attack the incoming enemy fighters. And I'm going to have these guys move up forward so they can intercept all attacks coming from the east. And with my dragon, I'm going to go ahead and assist my artillery units. So I'm going to spawn my dragon and move in to help them. As you can see, the dragon has a jetpack. This jetpack allows me to slow down time and evade incoming bullets. I I distracted them long enough for my artillery to take them out. Also, the jetpack helps me to rocket around the level at a very, very high pace. This is really useful to get around quite quickly. And also, I'm going to use my Imp Buster card on these guys. And as you can see, it impacted and did quite some damage. It took care of a couple of these units. I'm going to go ahead and take care of these guys personally. Also, every unit has its own tech tree. This mine that's coming at me is actually the anti-dragon upgrade of the enemy's tanks. You can buy these upgrades on the ship, and it's actually the only line of defense in multiplayer between you and the enemy's dragon. So it's quite important to have these defenses in check. Take care of these guys, and by now my units are pretty much done taking care of the rest of the cannons, and then we're going to move all these guys in to pick off all the other enemies one by one. Now normally, as I said, we will take care of all these enemies, but it's going to take a while, so we're just going to cheat and win this battle so I can show you the results of this, the tangible result of this battle. So, the battle results shows us that we've conquered a dwarven country. This is the first dwarven country. This is the first dwarven country we've conquered, and this also has certain results. When you conquer a country of a race for the first time, their counselor will board your ship. So at this point, if we go over to the throne room, the elven counselor and the dwarven counselor are there. Now the elf opens a dialogue with me telling me that I absolutely should not speak to the dwarf because what he's going to propose is absolutely vile and depraved. So we're going to talk to the dwarf to see what's going on. Now when we talk to the dwarf, we notice that he's got a proposition. He's actually offering the hand of Ida, the dwarven princess, to us in marriage. And it would be wise to actually accept, because this strengthens the ties between the dwarfs and us. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes, and in a second I'll show you the strategical implications and results of this choice. Also, as a reward, we get a attitude booster card. This is a card that you can apply to boost the attitude of a certain faction you might have heard. We're also going to go to the bar. In the bar we'll have some other characters in our empire. We have the undead counselor, and he'll voice the opinion of the undead race. So we're going to talk to him. And the undead are actually very religious characters. That's also where the one god religion came from. And he's absolutely not happy with the choice we made. He thinks it's an absolute disgrace that we've broken the sacred bond of marriage for the secular sake of politics. And it's clear from his reaction that our choice has actually dented the attitude of the undead. But if we speak to the imp counselor, we'll notice that the imp is actually pretty okay with it. He personally likes Lohanna, but the imps themselves are actually scientists. They're real technocrats, so they're more interested in blowing things up and creating new technology than any social conventions. So he doesn't really mind, and his race doesn't really mind either. Now, if we go back to the war room and access the tactical map, I can show you what the actual results of this marriage are. So I'm going to zoom out here a little. You can see that there are certain countries with a fist icon on them. These are countries that are revolting against their owners. So, a country that's revolting against its owner will not generate any cash flow for its owner, will not produce any units for its owner, and of course the owner cannot reap any benefits from the bonuses that are associated with these countries. So we successfully actually crippled the entire dwarven continent, and the only way you can lift revolts is by putting enough units in there to actually suppress the revolt, or you can play a card, or you can try to get the attitude of the race you're dealing with higher so that the revolutions stop. Now there's also a flip side to this, right? So if we look at our elven country that we have, that's also revolting against us because we actually divorced the elven princess and the elves are quite upset with us. Now this was a short explanation of how the game works. I'm going to quit the game now and start a multiplayer session together with my lovely assistant Octave. And we're going to show you how this thing works. Octave is a real hardcore StarCraft 2 player, so he's going to try to assault me with everything that he has, and I'm going to try to build static defenses to repel his attacks and make sure we get through this. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building mines to get my economy going. So I'm going to build a couple here. These will generate gold, and with that gold I can actually build units. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand my platform so that I have more area to build on. and I'm going to start building my defenses, but I have to wait till my cash comes in. And in the meantime, of course, Octave is already summoning his units and getting them together. So what I'm going to do is already create my selection sets and make sure I can control my troops easily. So I'm moving them forward right now, and in the meantime I got a bit more cash to put down my defenses. And I think by now Octave is trying to take care of my artillery personally. So he spawned as a dragon. I took him out, but he also destroyed my artillery, so that he successfully succeeded in that. Of course, spawning with your dragon costs money. And as you can see, Octave is shooting by. He's trying to take care of my other artillery, and he escapes. You yellow. Okay, I took care of him, but again, he successfully managed to disrupt my artillery units, and he's moving in to attack my static defenses. So my unit successfully took care of his artillery. I'm going to continue building my defenses here, because they're going to really be necessary. But it's quite dangerous because he's already trying to engage my defenses. I'm going to move in to destroy his artillery, because it's a very important unit for him. It's the only way that he can actually surpass my defenses. And Octave shot me in the back. But in the meantime, I did buy enough time to put space between him and my platform. And he's trying to attack my units from the side now. And I'm just going to jump in and chase him down. Okay, that took care of that. And I think it's... do you yield, Octave? Is it safe to say that you lost? Okay, excellent. So his artillery units are dead, and now I'm economically ahead, so it really won't make a difference for him to start building or progressing towards a new attack. So yeah, this was Dragon Commander. I hope you guys enjoyed the game and look forward to playing it.